Oh, it's quicker than waiting for the boat.
This week on isletunes, honoring Scott Parsons, who has received a distinctly island honor. DeeDee Austin wants us to meet somebody new, and there ain't enough hours in the day to interview PEI country legend Randy J. Martin. Yous ready, PEI? Let's get her done! How's she going, Prince Edward Island? I am your host, Adam Michael James, and you are listening to the May 16th, 2025 episode of the PEI Arts Award-nominated isletunes. Getting some practice for summer this week, ain't we? I just saw my first earwig of the season scampering across my kitchen floor, plus I finally tried spraying some watered-down lavender essential oil outside to hopefully keep the spiders from having a staff meeting around my porch lights. But if you think having to put on the AC for the first time in 2025 means it's hot, that's nothing compared to this latest collection of songs from PEI music makers that I've got for you. Hot is every one of these performers' middle names. I checked their birth certificates. Okay, I really didn't, but it's a metaphor. Go with it already. If you're of a mind to go with supporting this show that happens to be the only one to pull island tunes, get it? Isle tunes, together and lovingly wrap them in information about their creators, you can donate a little or a lot through PayPal, link in the description wherever you're listening. You can also become a subscriber on Patreon and get exclusive video content for $5 a month. And then there's isletunes merch, especially t-shirts that are gonna go real swell with this warmer weather. Those are on isletunes.creator-spring.com. Every penny goes toward maintaining and promoting this show. I was just able to get new posters printed thanks to you guys. Wait till you see them. Now, if you don't know the name Scott Parsons around here, you really should, and it's on you that you don't. See, he's only been grooving for 50 years with his fusion of folk, blues, and reggae that he calls Rasticadian. He himself is a fusion. His mom was part Mi'kmaq, and his black father was part Scottish. Scott had a hand in founding both the Gene McClellan Song Festival, on point since Gene was a mentor of Scott's, and also the Black Cultural Society of PEI. Scott picked up a Stompin' Tom Award in 2022 and was presented with an Order of PEI insignia in 2023, not to mention he was named one of the CBC's Black Changemakers of 2024. That's just scratching the surface of his accolades, and deserving of them all he is, but when you come right down to it, it's his music that's the most important, and he started making PEI aware of its overshadowed Black history through his albums and live shows in the 90s. As a result, just this week, UPEI conferred upon Scott an honorary degree for all his years as a cultural leader. Let's dive into that music, shall we? I can't confirm any degrees, but I can confer upon you back-to-back Scott Parsons, starting with a cut from his 1993 album Jupiter Wise, named for a black man who lived on the island in the 1780s and avoided a death sentence for assault thanks to the clergy, though he was ultimately exiled to the West Indies. This song's not about him, but instead it's a soulful scorcher called Say My Name. And no, not the Destiny's Child one. Besides, this was recorded before them anyway. Back to back means two Scott Parsons songs for the price of one in this
isletunes Rock Block.
Say my name, I'll hear you call. I'll hear you call. Well, don't worry, that love will fade with time. I'm much stronger with you by my side. No one else could ever reach out and touch me so deep inside. Well, all through the winter, spring, summer, and fall. Anytime, any old time at all. Anytime you say my name, I'll hear you call. I'll hear you call.
The old ways are not working. Time for something new. It's not the first time this has happened. There is nothing else to do. Down in Green Island on a half-moon beach, ancestors calling to me. Thank you for bringing us home. Long time this warm breeze on our bones. Taken from our homeland by force, cruel to beyond belief. When we reached the foreign land, could not feel Creator's hand. In Green Island on a half-moon beach, ancestors calling to me. Thank you for bringing us home. Long time this warm breeze on our bones. Live on in you, carry on from what we went through. This is what they said to me down in Green Island on Half Moon Beach. In Green Island on a Half Moon Beach, ancestors calling to me. Thank you for bringing us home. Long time this warm breeze on our bones.
Wrapping up 2 in a row from the island's one-of-a-kind Scott Parsons, that is Mr. Jupiter Wise himself from his 2022 album The Gates of No Return, Songs of PEI Black History, and its track Half Moon Beach, which the album notes say is, quote, my ancestors thanking me for bringing them home, unquote. Without Scott, most of us wouldn't even know there was Black history on the island, and for that alone, he had that honorary degree from UPEI coming. Congratulations, Scott! Keep up the kick-ass work. Another PEI artist who has already done a spectacular job of shining a spotlight on the plight of her own people is DeeDee Austin. She not only blew music lovers away with her song Buried Truth, which uncovered the atrocities suffered by First Nations children who were separated from their families and made to attend residential schools in a bid for forced assimilation, but she wowed the viewers and judges of TV contest show Canada's Got Talent back in March. It was the veteran comedian Howie Mandel who hit the program's golden buzzer, which allowed DeeDee to skip straight to the semifinals. Though she ended up eliminated, there's no eliminating her impact on audiences. DeeDee changes it up from Sirius too, and the hybrid artist known for combining contemporary sounds with traditional Mi'kmaq sounds is back with her second single of 2025 so far, a jam that proves even broken hearts can pulse to the rhythm of the dance floor. Check out DeeDee Austin, who's found Somebody New on isletunes.
started bad. I'm sorry, baby. You had your chance, can't take it back. This red, red heart is kettle black. I'm over that, and I move on to someone I can trust, someone I can hold on to, someone that can love all the things you couldn't do. You made your bed, you're sleeping it too, sleeping it too. I found somebody new. I found somebody new. I found somebody new. Thought you broke my heart into tiny pieces. Now that I'm moving on, you just can't believe it. Call me crazy, won't call you at all. I ain't your baby, 'cause I'm all into someone I can trust, someone I can hold on to, someone that can love all the things you couldn't do. You made your bed, you're sleeping it too, sleeping it too. I found somebody new. 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 I found somebody new.
DeeDee Austin letting you know that she doesn't need you because she's got somebody new, and it's new on isletunes because it just came out April 26th. Speaking of numbers, can you believe DeeDee's only 19 and she's been kicking out music since she was 15? Respect. Coming up, Barishois and Ghost Town share potpourri and paper planes with each other, and building a bridge with PEI to Nashville country crooner Randy J. Martin. You might know the bigger moments that have gone on in this province. The Mi'kmaq people were living here 12,000 years ago. The French and the British tussled over the place. Joining the Dominion of Canada happened in 1873, but there are so many other facts and figures that might easily be forgotten forever were they not notated somewhere. Combing through the archives of islandnewspapers.ca has unearthed a few nuggets, and I'm here to polish them up for you in This Week in PEI History. May 18, 1939, the Charlottetown Guardian reported that the biggest liquor seizure in recent years had gone down the night before at a barn in Daly's Corner near Wellington. The illicit alcohol was valued at $7,200, about $127,000 in today's money, and there were rumors that it had originally been obtained by the island's Liberal Party in anticipation of toasting that day's federal election on the island. Well, it turns out they did win, but PEI was kind of behind the times in terms of prohibition repeal. Ontario had lifted their booze ban in 1927 and Nova Scotia in 1930. The island, obviously still dry by this point, was the last holdout, not uncriminalizing alcohol until 1948. Reminds me of how PEI indeed wound up being the last province to join Confederation. You? May 21st, 1869, the Royal Gazette informed readers that a levee celebrating the Queen's birthday, in this case Victoria, would be held on June 2nd, the date to which England had recently moved the observation. The paper didn't specify why the move, nor could I find anything about it doing a quick Google search. But as you know, Queen Victoria was born on May 24th, making this party a full week after the event.
We are not amused.
May 22nd, 1943. It had unfortunately, because of the necessity to fight against fascism in Europe, become a regular feature of the Charlottetown Guardian to print casualty lists resulting from that conflict. On this date, Flag Officer John Martin Riley from Bell River, who had previously been reported missing, was said to now be a prisoner of war in Germany, and a Sergeant Terrace Miller of Cornwall, who continued to be missing, was officially declared dead. Thanks a lot, Mussolini. You're only the one who got this whole fascism thing started. Now we've got Mango Mussolini.
Yo, Smile, this is Ozone from Teeth Out, and you're listening to ILTs.
Summer may be over, but the friends you made will last forever yet. We've all got problems upon problems, but we don't have no regrets. How could we much at stake. As it turns out, you might burn out before you have had a chance to shine. It's now intrinsic, we've all been sick and we made it out alright. Take it from me, on fire's the way to be. There's no reason we should go home alone tonight. If you wanna stay up till the morning light, I will burn the midnight oil for you. And if there's a mountain you just can't seem to climb, we'll jump it just like we're kangaroos. And if somehow that's not enough, go ahead and call my bluff. But don't go on thinking you gotta make it on your own. I'm right here, you're so not alone. Try to keep on moving forward, even though the headwinds are so strong. The forecast might be bleak, but there's a damn good chance they got it wrong. Ain't the sun overrated? Or maybe I'm just jaded. Still no reason we should go home alone tonight. If you wanna stay up till the morning light, I will burn the midnight oil for you. And if there's a mountain you just can't seem to climb, we'll jump it just like we're kangaroos. And if somehow that's not enough, go ahead and call my bluff. But don't go on thinking you gotta make it on your own. I'm right here, you're so not alone. Alone, you are not alone. Alone, you are not alone. If you wanna stay up till the morning light, I will burn the midnight oil for you. And if there's a mountain you just can't seem to climb, we'll jump it just like we're kangaroos. And if somehow that's not enough, go ahead and call my bluff. But don't go on thinking you gotta make it on your own. I'm right here, you're so not. I'm right here, you're so not. I'm right here, you're so not alone.
It's not just a marsupial that bounces around Australia. It's a 2023 single from Brandon Howard Roy, that's Kangaroo, on isletunes. The BRH first came to PEI in 2014 to do some acting and eventually made the place his home, considering the atmosphere here to be inspiring. His indie pop sound grew out of its own inspiration, Cher's Believe CD, and also the ABBA Gold Greatest Hits compilation that were kept on repeat in his family's car back in Montreal. I have that ABBA disc. That's certainly how I got into them. Brandon had come to admire Paper Lions when he first saw them play here, and he's still amazed that its members ended up making his own musical journey possible. Colin Buchanan produced him, John McPhee served as business mentor, and David Cyrus McDonald has been Brandon's drummer. Lions and kangaroos and something. Oh my! Potpourri didn't used to mean dried leaves that smell nice, or even the blanket term we often use to mean assortment. Its literal French translation is rotten pot, and it referred to a Spanish stew made with a wide variety of ingredients. For a while there, PEI had its own brand of potpourri, musically anyway, thanks to the Acadian tunes cooked up by Arsenault's Chuck, Albert, and Louise, plus Hélène Bergeron. They formed Barachois in 1995 and enjoyed a spectacular 8-year run before they decided to call it Un Jour, often running new material by Father Éloi Arsenault at the Saint-Philippe and Saint-Jacques Church in Egmont Bay before introducing it to what became their legions of fans. Barachois released 3 albums during their time together, though all 4 of its members can certainly be found performing on the island in various combinations during the summer these days. That rather brings us back to the potpourri concept, doesn't it? Which is only right because that's the title of the track Barachois is bringing you from their self-titled debut record of 1996. Indeed, this is Potpourri wafting into your ears from the bowl called Isletunes.
Ma petite bédaine, j'ai mal au ventre. Ma petite bédaine, j'ai mal au ventre. Si t'es mal au ventre, prends du gingembre. Si t'es mal partout, prends du sandou. Ma petite bédaine, j'ai mal au ventre. Ma petite bédaine, j'ai mal au ventre. Si t'es mal au ventre, prends du gingembre. Si t'es mal partout, prends du sandou. Ma femme jurée, elle t'embête quand j'ai vu la caresser. Quand j'ai un petit coup en tête, je ne peux m'en empêcher. Le matin quand je me lève, je mets ma main sur le cou de ma bouteille et je lui fais faire un coucou. Si tu me grondes, j'abandonnerai le logis. C'est dans ma plus haute chambre, j'y ferai porter mon lit. Taradidididam, taradidididam. Taradidididam, taradidididam. Ma petite pédane, j'ai mal au ventre. Ma petite pédane, j'ai mal partout. Si t'es mal à ventre, prends du gingembre. Si t'es mal partout, prends du sandou.
J'en mangeais trois. Ma belou, fang, ma belou, fang, ma belou. J'en mangeais trois. J'ai du mal à tous les trois mois. Ma belou, fang, ma belou, fang, ma belou. Toutes mes parents venions m'y voir. Celui que j'aime bien n'y vient pas. Ma belou, fang, ma belou, fang, ma belou, fang, ma belou, fang, ma belou. C'est Maria Pierre, j'allais souvent la voir, presque tous les soirs. Quand elle a pris la foire, je pouvais plus y aller. Je pouvais plus y aller. Quand je suis retourné, elle m'avait laissé. J'étais enragé, j'ai manqué la tête.
The fields are high and
From Acadia to Ireland? Why not? Anita Curran on iTunes, lending her then teenage lilt to the title track of her 1997 album Come With Me Into the Fields. Coming from the Vernon River region, Anita dedicated her CD to all those who gather the harvests of Prince Edward Island, and it had a launch party attended by hundreds over at the old Curran homestead in Albury Plains. Though this seems to be the only album Anita made, it achieves equal notoriety in that it was recorded at none other than Guernsey Cove, Gordon Belcher's studio, and mastered at virtual studios run by fellow musician Perry Williams. This is why they say first impressions stick with you. You probably don't believe in ghosts, do you? That's okay. With that attitude, they probably don't believe in you either. But wherever you do or don't land on the spiritual spectrum, it would be hard not to believe in the spectral visits that Ghost Town makes to your ears through their music. They started haunting Summerside in 2021, which allowed guitarist and vocalist Eric Rogerson, bassist Jason McNally, and drummer Adam Godet to cross over into this realm with their first EP, 2023's Ghosts of Saturday Night. Now these friendly ghosts have returned with a track that may or may not be sensing the presence of their talked-about upcoming album Pleasure and Consequences. We'll soon see. In the meantime, just out April 12th, this is Paper Planes, which, not inappropriately, tells the story of a loved one who isn't on this plane anymore. It's Ghost Town, and it's isletunes.
I didn't know that summer would be the last time that we'd make paper planes and throw them all over your place. Years passed until I remember when I looked behind your couch. I found a paper plane and I swear I heard you laughing out loud. And on my grandpa's knee I'd rest and press my head into his chest. You and I were like brothers, raising hell until daybreak would come. Then it happened so fast, I got news of the crash and you were gone. We were only teenagers, we thought that only the good die young. So I stayed in my room and got high with some music turned on. And at your funeral I wept and placed my hand upon your chest. Where did your light go? I'm walking through shadows. I need healing so I can understand what I'm feeling. It's never too far. The places where you are. You're in this heart that's been beaten, and I need healing. It's been 12 years now. I wonder what my old man would think of me now. Is he proud of me and this life that I've built from the ground up? You know I hated to see him suffer, and I wish that God would just take him now. And I live with that guilt and this memory I built, though I know he's not hurting now. I still try my best to make him smile. Maybe I'll see him in a little while. Where did your light go? I'm walking through shadows.
Flying around the ether and into you, that's Paper Planes on isletunes, the new one from Ghost Town. Still to come, keep calm and carry Berettas, and sipping some sweet tequila with a man who made it possible for you to drive to Moncton. Yeah, it's heating up all right, and so are island stages. We're getting to that point of the year where there are enough live shows to choose from that you have to flip a loony to decide which one to go to. So informing your designated loony is a little segment I like to call Gigs to Dig across Prince Edward Island. Today, Friday, May 16th, Trevor Lowell Clements is with Homestead Elite at Baba's Lounge. Also today, Street Feast, happening on Kent Street between Prince and Great George. Here's the rundown for today. Taylor Boot and the Mean Street Bullies are playing at 4:40. The Mi'kmaq Heritage Actors are at 5:35. Coyote is at 6 o'clock. Ava and Lily are at 8:45. And Lady Soul, they are at 9:50. Tomorrow, Street Feast continues with Louisa Goiza at 1 o'clock. Got Blues with Annette Drapeau, Corbett, and Todd McLean at 2:25. Le Funk is at 4 o'clock. Joss Rayome is at 5:05. And the Pierce Clark Band is at 6:40. Also happening tomorrow, May 17th, Daisy and Cut Deep are playing the Sport Page Club in Charlottetown, and Brian J. Dunn is at Peaks Key. And also tomorrow, May 17th, Su Chang Wang is playing the Credit Union Place in Summerside. Tuesday, May 20th, it's the Colonel Gray High School Senior Performance Showcase at the Trailside Music Hall. Wednesday, May 21st, at the Trailside, it's Kelly McMichael and Space Bud. Also happening on May 21st, it's the Jack Pine Folk Club featuring Shane Pendergast, Whitney Rose, and Louisa Goiza, and there's more than that even, at the Poorhouse. Thursday, May 22nd, it's the Lawrence Maxwell Musician Support Fund Songwriting Contest Finals featuring Allison Bush, Noah Malcolm, Julia Robichaux, Kira Lone, and Sophie Peterson. That's all happening at the Trailside. Looking into next week, May 23rd, Fiddler's Sons is playing the Irish Cultural Center. Also May 23rd, we've got Inside the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald featuring Shane Pendergast, Brielle Ansems, Alicia Toner, Mike Ross, and more. They're playing at the Harmony House in Hunter River, and also additional Fridays and Saturdays through June 7th. May 23rd also sees Trevor Lowell Clements with Groove Court at Upstreet Craft Brewing. And wrapping up May 23rd, at least for this list, Brian J. Dunn is playing PEI Brewing Company. May 24th, Brian J. Dunn is back at the Old Dublin Pub. May 25th, it's the Songwriter Circle with Ben Kunder, Shane Pendergast, and Kinley at the Trailside. And May 27th, the Trailside brings you Le Funk. Don't forget, Baba's Lounge holds an open mic night every Wednesday at 9 p.m., hosted by the one and only Kinley.
Hello, hello, this is Hikaru, and you're listening to isletunes.
sure why they're calm, but Beretta makes me think of that 70s cop show, and not just because I was a kid in the 70s, but I'm getting way off topic here. You just in fact heard Calm Beretta and their 2019 single Silver Screens on iTunes, talk about in the wheelhouse. Josh Carter, also of Coyote, and Laura Oki started off playing together because they always seemed to be near a musical instrument when they did. Once enough people liked what they were doing, they added Nigel Hahn, Bruce Rooney, now of Hit the Coast, and Matt McEachern to the literal mix. They created an experimental kind of high-energy pop that leaned on 80s synths, which thrills me because while I was indeed a 70s kid, I was an 80s teen, so like totally. Calm Beretta was last heard performing Talking Head songs in a series of tribute shows in Charlottetown. Building bridges is more often than not a metaphor for attempting to connect individuals or entities, and admittedly, it's rather something the world needs more of right now with all the division. But then there's our real-life bridges, and those don't just pop up out of bodies of water. Somebody's got to make them. The fellow you're about to hear from has the distinction of helping to build the Confederation Bridge. At the same time, he was building a career in country music, and he even combined the two by shooting a video on the not yet completed connection between PEI and New Brunswick. After a long tenure in the band Sweet Tequila, which he's still a part of, he's making a solo comeback with the first of his own material this century. Mind you, that's also how you build a bridge between a past part of your catalog and your current one. Put your cowboy hats on and get ready to ride with Randy J. Martin here on isletunes.
Now, Nashville is and always has been a tough nut for up-and-coming country stars to crack, and it's even more rare when the star-finding success is from Prince Edward Island. But that is the case for Randy J. Martin, with a career that started on the Confederation Bridge and took him on the road with the one and only Stompin' Tom Connors. Randy's been hanging his hat in Alberta the last couple of decades, where he formed the band Sweet Tequila. Now, in addition to the Salt and Lime, Randy's back with his first solo work in a while, and if I've got my information right, there's a new album coming right behind it. So it's the magic of Zoom bringing Randy J. Martin to the iTunes studio, otherwise known as my basement. Howdy, Randy. It's great to have you here.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Where to even start? I guess the beginning is probably the best place. Now, most country singers rhapsodize about blue-collar work in their songs, but you've actually done it. I myself have been over the Confederation Bridge any number of times, but I've never known anybody who actually helped build it. So what was that like, and how did it lead to a career in country music?
You know, I worked on that project from about March of 94 to about, I think it was January, February of 97. It was a great experience. You know, I mean, I really had a lot of great friends on that crew. It was hard work, a lot of 12-hour days, plus travel. I was traveling from Charlottetown most of that time. Big thrill still to have my name in a brick. It's one of the, greater accomplishments I'm proud of. But the fact that it led to the career that I ended up having was even more special. I started writing this song called Ain't Enough Hours to basically tell the story about that project. And I'd sing it to the guys as I was writing it. I would work on it at work, and we'd all kind of sing at work. They'd get me to sing, and I would be singing and working and creating. And I went to Nashville in January of 96 to record 4 songs. And one of the songs I recorded was Ain't Enough Hours. That was my second record. My first record was actually in 94. So I had an album out before I actually jumped on the project. So I put together a proposal on my 386 computer, and I approached Straight Crossing Incorporated to see if I could get permission to shoot the video on the bridge and get funding as well, because it wasn't cheap. It took about 6 weeks for them to get back to me. Basically, they were giving me permission to shoot a music video on the Confederation Bridge. However, they weren't going to provide any funding. But that letter alone was so unique because there was at least 2 other major artists that had requested permission to do something on that bridge, and they were declined. I had permission. So I started knocking on doors to canvass support. The International Laborers Union was the first one to jump on board with me. And then the next company was Shaker's Bar and Restaurant in Summerside. And at the time, they also had the Bacon Donuts. I don't think that was Kevin Gallant. We put the Venus swimwear models in the video that had Shaker's Bar and Restaurant. And we did a scene where we drove through Bacon Donuts. And the third guy to jump on board was Bob Kaler from Taylor's Esso in Charlottetown. Well, anyway, long story short, and I came up with not just enough funding to do the 8.5 hours video, but I also had enough additional funding to do the 1 Day of Rain video. When 8.5 hours went out in the spring of 97, it was immediately in heavy rotation on CMT. And, for the next 3-4 years, just about everything I put out went top 40. So I had a really good run there from about 96 to about 2001.
Now, I'm going to get kicked right off the island into the Northumberland Strait if I don't ask this, but what was it like touring with Stompin' Tom? I mean, that must have been quite an honor.
Stompin' Tom. First of all, Stompin' Tom was a really dear friend of mine before the tour. I'd met Tom in 87 the first time. I moved to Toronto as an 18-year-old kid with a good friend of mine who just happened to be Stompin' Tom's nephew. So he took me over there. I was pretty much a rock and roll headbanger guy. And after meeting him, I really got the bug for country music. I seen the way he could control a whole room and have them in the palm of his hand by himself with a guitar. Touring with him was really special for me because, he was one of my biggest influences. I had about 12 Stompin' Tom 8-tracks that I knew all the words to all the songs. So, to later on tour with him as his opening act and to be in his band is definitely an experience I'll treasure the rest of my life. Touring with him was definitely different. There was a big crew on the road. I think there was 9 of us. And it was, 32 cities, I believe it was, right from coast to coast. We didn't get to the East Coast, unfortunately, on that tour, but the biggest show we did on that tour was North Bay Heritage Festival, which was 45,000 people. The Crash Test Dummies opened up for us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Tom is very, very intelligent guy. You could have some just tremendously intelligent conversations with him about a variety of topics. He was well-versed. I just miss being able to go to visit him and spend time with him.
Yeah, it's just amazing that you were able to have that experience. What was it that finally brought you to Alberta in 2002? What prompted you to found Sweet Tequila when she got there?
When I was on the road with Tom, we played Rexall Place, and we had 4 days here in Edmonton to kind of, while I was here, I went, checked out some of the live scene. So I got back to Ontario. I sort of reevaluated just where the scene was going in Ontario at that point, and decided that it was a way better place to be was Alberta. There was much, much more touring. So I put everything together and I left in January 2002 and I drove here. At the time, the Randy J project was sort of winding down. I'd had my run at radio. Other names were emerging. They were taking a lot of spins away. Emerson Drive emerged, Doc Walker, George Canyon, Aaron Pritchett. A lot of those acts were coming up, and by the time I got to my third album, it had about another 3 top 40 hits. I came out, I took a little bit of a pause, reevaluated. It was right around that time that my friend Jason McCoy put together the Roadhammers. So I watched him sort of reinvent himself in a band. It sort of inspired me, and I went, well, maybe I can create something too. We started doing some shows with a girl. Her name is DeeDee Austin, and she was a firecracker. Well, I said, we add the girl, we're going to get twice as many songs. We'll be able to do all the classic rock that's out of my range. We'll be able to do that material. So we added DeeDee Austin. We toured as Urban Myth for quite a while, probably a couple of years. We were writing songs at the time, and Urban Myth wasn't a good enough name to record under. Urban Myth started as a 4-piece guy band, so it didn't really cover what we were doing with DeeDee. It was a different kind of project. It had a different feel. So we were playing a little bar in Edson. They brought a tray of tequila over for us, and DeeDee kind of made a face. That's Sweet Tequila, she says. And I went, that's the band name right there. And that's how Sweet Tequila came to be. So 3 albums later, we're still touring.
Good. That's awesome. Although I understand that you're getting back into the Randy J project a little bit. You've got this new solo material. How long has it been since you did your own solo material? And you have a new album coming out, I understand?
New album, yeah. It's something that I wanted to do for a long, long time, is record a new Randy J project. The last one I recorded was 99. So that's a long time. I got 6 new songs, and I'm probably going to just keep going. I probably will cut some CDs when I get enough songs. You know, in the end of the day, as long as I love the way it sounds and I'm happy with it, that's all you can ask. At least it'll be my last artist statement potentially. But who knows? Something catches on fire, anything could happen.
Including you're coming back to the island to do a show, and then Harbourfront, July 19th. Now, you're going to be playing with Keelan Wedge too, and she's really awesome. What do you have in store for concert goers at this gig? And are you going to be playing some of the new music there?
For 100%, we will. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the radio hits from the past. The band is going to be people that were in my band years ago: Danny McNevin, Tom DeRoche on bass, Anya Bernard on keyboards, and Keelan Wedge. Be the first time I ever worked with Keelan, but I'm very thrilled to have her. So it's a really good band. We'll play a lot of the new material. We'll play a lot of the songs from the records, and I'm going to do about 4 Sweet Tequila songs. And mentioning that, the girl that's going to open up the show again is the girl Alyssa Harper that actually came out west and was in Sweet Tequila for about 9 months.
Nice.
So she's coming back to open up the show, and then I'm going to introduce her, and she's going to come out and sing the Sweet Tequila material with me.
That's cool.
And we'll also be doing a little bit of the Stompin' Tom inspired Spud Finnegan material. A lot of people don't know about that part of my persona. I wrote a whole album's worth of this material, which was very inspired by Stompin' Tom. So one day I'll make that record.
You'll probably still be recording in retirement. I have a feeling.
But it's a pretty good chance.
I have a feeling. I know that you're such a busy fella with the solo and the sweet tequila, sweetness, all this stuff going on. So I really, really appreciate your coming by and digging into your PEI roots again via the show on the 19th.
Saturday, July 19th at the Harbourfront Theater, Summerside.
Great spot. Best of luck with the new music. Then just like good old country radio, we're going to play 2 of your songs. We're going to start with the one that started it all, Ain't Enough Hours, and boy, can I relate to that.
Oh, I bet you can.
I can, and it's all by way of an
iTunes Rock Block.
Time I get up, tossing no sleepy head, and I'll pick up fruit. I'm sipping on a coffee, roll over the curb, put a brand new stain in my old work shirt. Glancing at the clock as I'm riding, it looks like I'm gonna be late again. 'Cause there ain't enough hours in the run of the day. Why do I go and run this way? Rush and tear here and there. Oh Lord, I ain't got no time to spare. I need some slack, no flack, kick back and take the time to play. But there ain't enough hours in the run of the day. I work a 12-hour shift till the sun goes down. When I hit every red light going through town, the gauge is a little too close to the east, so I sit in a line to get gasoline. Finally make it home to a microwave of lunch. Even to eat, I got a clock to punch. 'Cause there ain't enough hours in the run of the day. Why do I go and run this way? Brush and tear here and there. Oh Lord, I ain't got no time to spare. I need some slack, no flack, kick back and take the time to play. But there ain't enough hours in the run of the day. One day the boss handed me a bonus. When I saw it was a watch, I had to laugh. if I get back and take the time to play. But there ain't enough hours in the run of the day. Can't go on, Berlin, Berlin. I've been working every day, sun up to sundown, but that's okay. But when I get home, you're always gone. Girl, don't do me this way. This can't go on. I only see you, girl, when the money's gone. And this can't go on. Berlin. Well, you know that I want you. You know that I need you. But I just never see you. Berlin, am I being taken for a fool? Berlin, I just can't sleep at night. By the time you walk in, it's morning light. You a wild, wild thing, but this ain't no fling. The future could be bright. Berlin, this can't go on. I only see you, girl, when the money's gone. And this can't go on. Berlin, 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 Berlin,
That is, in old school country and western terms, a double shot of Randy J. Martin's love, that love equating to music, of course. You just heard his very latest Berlin here on iTunes, and before that was the single that put him on the map, Ain't Enough Hours, from his 1997 album Workin' Overtime. Lest I end up working overtime, I better wrap this up since I don't exactly get paid time and a half around here. Indeed, pumping this podcast through its distribution service and promoting the thing doesn't pay for itself. So once again, if you're of a mind to help make this show happen every week, for which I will already thank you in advance, you can either donate through PayPal, become a subscriber on Patreon, or snatch up some isletunes swag. All links in the description. If money isn't really a thing for you right now, I get it, but you can still help the podcast if you're listening on YouTube. Just click those likes and subscribes to get the platform to notice it. Justin Dwarin is responsible for the Islanderism that started out the show. If you know one or know someone who knows one, get a recording of it and send it along to amj@isletunes.ca or leave it on a voicemail to 902-807-4250. These email and phone methods are also how you can convey comments, suggestions, or requests. Come hang out with Isletunes on Instagram and Facebook, where I always post links to where you can buy the music you hear from episode to episode. It ain't just about amplifying myself over here. Musical contribution to the isletunes theme by Kaylin McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. Coordination assistance by Jackie Robichaux. I'm Adam Michael James, and next up it will once again be time to shine a welcoming spotlight on the island's musical diversity through Isletunes' partnership with IRSA, the Immigrant and Refugee Services Association of PEI. Immigrants and refugees are really getting a bad rap right now, and you know everybody deserves a safe place to live where they can grow and contribute their own special talents. PEI's music scene was awesome before, but it's so much better for including songwriters from elsewhere who are now making the island their home. Next episode, I'll chat with one of them thanks to Ursa. Call it a sighting from Ursa Major. That's an astronomy pun. You see, Ursa... Oh, never mind. Go ask Neil deGrasse Tyson. While we're thinking of things on a universal level, think how tiny Earth is compared to even this galaxy, and then think why one part of this species inhabiting Earth is trying to make other parts of the species live a certain way. Doesn't make much sense, does it? I'll tell you what does, and that is this quote from Dutch diplomat Gijs de Vries. Ultimately, freedom and democracy are stronger than fear and tyranny. You know it. Thanks for listening, PEI. See you in 7.